by a falling aircraft part. For example, an Air Canada plane lost part of an engine while flying over Toronto 10 years ago in 2012, and it damaged 4 cars in the parking lot at the air terminal. However, during the past century of aviation history, there hasn't been a single occasion in which an object falling off an aircraft in flight has injured or killed someone on the ground. Back towards the end of World War II, there was an interesting occasion when a large door fell from an aircraft flying over the city of Melbourne in Australia. The event was described on radio as it was happening. A radio announcer from the local medium wave station 3XY was in the plane at the time. 3XY was originally installed on the top floor ballroom of the multi-level Princess Theatre at 163 Spring Street in Melbourne, and the station was inaugurated on September the 8th, 1935, with 600 watts on 1420 kilohertz. The original owner was Frank Thring Sr., and the first manager was Tom Holtz, whose son Harold Holtz subsequently became a Prime Minister of Australia. Station 3XY was licensed to FT broadcasters, with the FT indicating the ownership by Frank Thring. In the middle of the next year, 1936, Frank Thring Sr. died, and his second wife, Olive, together with their 10-year-old son, Frank Jr., inherited the radio station 3XY. Young Frank became an announcer on 3XY, along with 2 other well-known subsequent announcers. During World War II, announcer Brian Carlton enlisted in the Australian Army, and he was posted to serve with the Australian Army mobile radio station 9AC in Torquay on Bougainville Island in the Western Pacific. Another announcer at 3XY was Barry Sieber, who later joined the international shortwave service of Radio Australia. The twin towers of 3XY were installed on top of the Princess Theatre, and in 1948 they were blown down by stormy winds. And then 6 years later, in 1954, the station was off the air again for a while due to a disastrous fire. In 1965, station 3XY was moved into a specially built studio facility on Faraday Street in suburban Carlton, with the transmitter at Heidelberg. The studios were subsequently moved to St Kilda Road and then into the Age Building on Spencer Street in downtown Melbourne. During that era, 3XY was often heard with a good signal by the staff at the Australian Wilkes Base in Antarctica, and overnight announcer John Waite would play request music for their entertainment. This was the era in which radio station 3XY in Melbourne was described as the most successful and most profitable